All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy new month to us. We are welcome to this class. Our time has started ticking, and we have just 1 hour for this class. So I'm not going to wait. I can't hear anything from Paul because he's the only one that has joined me in this class. So regardless of that, we are going to continue. I believe he can hear me. I've been trying to hear from him, but I'm not getting him. But if you can hear me, please, I want you to signify. The last time we met, this is what exactly we did. We're able to create a sign up page, and from this sign up page, we were able to actually create an account, and then we're able to also log in. So we already have someone here. We already have an account created. Let me see if this account is currently logged in. I'm just trying to go to dashboard because we actually created. Okay, so nobody's logged in. That's why it's showing anonymous. Uh, let's go back to that sign up page, sign in. So let's sign in. So now we are able to sign in here, and we can also log out with this logout button. So click logout. We're able to log out. So if I go back to that dashboard, we are going to see that we are still going to have that anonymous. It means that this person is actually nobody. This person is logged out. So let's log in with someone else. We also created a kind of John. Yeah, we created John account, and okay, I think that credential is not correct. Let me try again. I don't know if it's small letter for John. Okay, so now we're able to log in with this user as well. So you can see now that we're able to log in, and we can also log out. There are a couple of things we need to do today, and I want you to be very much attentive, which is going to help us to move forward. Now, what we need to do is this. We are getting to that dashboard without logging in. And first, I want us to correct that. It's only for when you are logging. So we need to add something to that particular page to prevent user from getting there without logging in. So for us to be able to do that, we are going to import something. At the top here, we're going to do from Django.contrib. So from Django.contrib, if you remember the other time, we're able to create this, we're able to use this Django.contrib, and then we're able to use it to do authentication, login, and all of that. So this is going to be from Django.contrib.auth as well. So dot decorators. So we are going to import something from decorators. Import what we call login required. We are going to import login required. So that's what we are going to import. With this login required, we can prevent user from getting to our dashboard without logging in. Now that we have imported that, we now come to this dev dashboard, and then we are going to add that particular code here, which is at login required. Then we are going to pass what do you call it? We are going to pass the URL that the user needs to be redirected to. So at login required, the login URL is going to be set equals to index. So with this, no user will be able to get here until he or she logs in. So someone is joining the meeting. Let me admin the person. Okay, Samuel Gene, you're welcome. Samuel, you're welcome. Okay, so I need to go back to the Visual Studio Code, and this is what we have done. We have added a login required. Someone else is trying to join. Just a moment. Is there anybody here? Okay, no one else. Okay, Legbede has joined. You're welcome. Okay, I return here now, and this is what we just did to prevent user from just going to our dashboard without logging in. And quickly, let's just do that and check if that's properly working before we proceed more for today's work. So I'll go back to share that screen. So beautiful. I believe you can see that screen I'm sharing now. I'm sharing my browser tab. And now let's try. We have not, this person, let's see whether we are logged in. I'm not sure anybody is logged in here, but let's go to that dashboard. So you can see that it's redirecting me back to the login page here. So you can see it next equals to dashboard. So before it was actually directly going to the dashboard without logging in. But with that piece of code, we can't get to dashboard without signing in. So let's sign in. Beautiful. So we are back here. We have actually been logged in. So that has been able to take care of that authentication. So now that we have someone in, that's beautiful. We can also go to the admin page 127. Good. So let's go to the admin page. So this person is logged in and I can see the admin page right here. So good. Now we proceed by going back to Visual Studio Code, and that's where we're going to do most of our work today. And now we are going to do a couple of things. Remember that we created this dashboard. We are going to close this. Our index, we're going to close this. Our signer, we're going to close this. And we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 URLs for us to be able to work with. What we need to do today is that we need to continue by creating our article. So we want to create our article, but I still want us to know that we want to create a user profile. We want to create a user profile. But before we create a user profile, I want us to create the article first. And for us to create the article, we need to create two things. Number one, we need to create something called category. Our article needs to have category. So the category is going to be more or less like we have a category name. We are going to have the creator of that category. So basically, these are two things we need to do. Maybe probably later we'll add one or two things to it. So the category name can be maybe science category. It can be art category. It can be, fiction. It can be anything. So whoever that is going to create it, we actually add whatever category is going to be. And then we are going to also add a creator here. And the creator is going to come from the user model. So if you are logged in, you can create a category. You can create that category. So that's what we're going to do. So for us to do that, we need to go to, we need to go to our model. Now there is a model right here. The other time we imported this contrib.models, we imported the user, and we're going to be making use of that user right here. So with that, I want us to just listen and be attentive as we go on. Now, right here, now we want to create our model. We're going to create a class. And the model we're going to create, we are going to create about 3 models. The model is our database table. So don't forget that the other time we're able to get into our database management system, the one that came with Django itself. But we have a particular table called the user table and the group table. Those are the two things we have inside that DBMS. Today, we are going to learn how we can create our own tables and insert it inside our DBMS. That's the Django database management system. So we are going to create about 3 particular models, of which we may actually use like 1 or 2 for today, because there's some other thing we need to do to properly set up a profile model. So what we need to do in creating our database table, which we call class, is going to be class. Now, after the class keyword, you have to follow it exactly. Class, small letter, C, everything is lowercase. And then we need to create a profile model. So let's just say profile. Okay, so profile. Probably let me see model. This way, profile model. Or let's just say profile. And then there is something called models. Of course, you have been seeing these models. So we're going to make use of that models dot. Inside these models, we have a module called model. So in creating a class, we have class profile. That's the name of a class. And here we have to make use of these models, then dot model. So in that case, we'll be able to create our database table. I hope this is clear. So we can do column, and then underneath, this is where we are going to create the field called the columns that we are going to make use of for this. So what we need to do now, what are those things that I want to capture for our, what do you call it, our profile? Now, what is this profile going to do? The moment you create an account, the account we created, the database table we have for users does not allow any other thing apart from the username, first name, last name, email. There's no way for us to be able to insert pictures as a profile picture. There's no way for us to actually add other information, probably sex, probably phone number, probably your location and all of that. So those are the things we want to add now. So right here, we are going to just add those things. The first thing we are going to do is to add the particular person that will own this profile. So for us to add that, we are going to give this particular person probably a name to do that. Okomo, you're welcome. So please ensure you mute your mic. Hello, Okomo, are you there? Hello? Okay, good. So what we need to do now is that we are going to create the user, the person that owns this particular profile. So let's just say user, probably how would I call it? Let's say user, I don't know, probably we say the username of this particular person. Let's call it that way, username. And then we're going to set this equal to models dot. We can do two things. Probably, yes, we can actually get this this particular user, and insert it directly from that angle, this particular user that we have here. So we are going to use something we call a foreign key. From this foreign key, we will be able to grab that particular user model, probably, or what do we do? Yes, I think we can do it that way, or we can actually go on and set that up in our views. So let's just do models dot okay, models dot foreign key. So, and then we can now have the user. So if we have user, what we need to do next is that on delete, we are going to make this to cascade. What that means is that once we delete this particular user, then whatever we have here, we are going to delete it. It's going to delete automatically from that particular model. So that's what we are going to do right here. So that's why we are going to use this particular foreign key. So that's what we want to do here right now. And then we're going to do undelete, sorry, undelete. So we are going to do models dot cascade. So we want to cascade that, And now after username, we need to do probably bow, the bow of the user. And for that, we are going to use a text field. So it's going to be models dot text field, and set that equals to, okay, I think I have an error with my spelling for foreign key. Foreign key. I guess that's correct. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here. Okay, let's save this back. Now let's move on. Now we need to have a bow for this person, and then the next thing is that we need to also have a phone number, phone, and let's just use a character field. Let's just say models dot char field. Char field means character field. So, and then for character field, we are going to use max length. We use max length. Phone number is just 11, but if you want to add plus 234, let's just say 15 here. Let's just say 15, and then that should be okay. For bows, we still want to set this to true blank. What this blank equals true means is that let's assume that the person does not want to add a bow at that time, then we can allow that field to be empty. But if we set this to empty on the front end, we need to also set the database table also to none. That is that particular column. So we're going to do null and set that also equals to true. So if we set it to true, that means that it's also going to be blank as well. Then for phone number, we're going to set that equals to this max length of 15. Okay, I'm not sure we should set this to blank. So let's capture this. We have already captured the email. So we have captured email from the other lesson that we had. So we have email in our data, in our model there. So probably, I guess this should be okay for our user model. We don't need location. We don't need blah, blah. I think this is okay. So now let's create a string representation so that when we go to the database, we'll be able to see exactly at a glance what that person is. Let's say def and space double underscore, that's the first, then second underscore, str for string, underscore bracket self, and then column. And down here we are going to now display what we want. I'm going to use a formatted string f, then column, and then we can pass what do we have here? Profile. Okay, it's going to be profile.username, profile.bow. We don't need to display bow, so username is okay, and those are okay for me. That's just okay, so we don't need this phone number. So with this, we will be able to see at a glance who this particular user is once we get into the model. So that is the first thing we have done here. We have been able to create the profile model, and we capture the username of this particular person, which is going to be a foreign key. And then we also have the models, the bow, and the phone number. And we have created a string representation of this. Now, the next thing we're going to create is going to be the article. But before we create the article, we are going to create what's that? We're going to create the category. So here we're going to do class, and then we call this category class category. And we are also going to inherit from models.model like this. And down here for the category, like I said, we are going to have two things. We are going to have the name of the person, which is going to be models.child field. This is going to be the field for the username. Okay, for the username, yeah. So the person creating this here, so let's say 100. That's not too small. And then down here again, we want to, this is the name of that particular category. So probably let's use a text field. It shouldn't be too much. Let's just say 200 for this, the length. Then down here, we want to give the write the name of the person who create this. We want to capture that name and set that equals to what do we do? Models dot char field as well. Models dot char field. And then we're going to set a max length of 200. I think these two are okay for this particular category. And then let's also create the string representation for that. Def str, and let's do f-string and return the name of this particular model category. And I think we also need to grab the creator as well. Okay, so I think this is okay too. And the last thing we need to do is also to create our article. So that's our story. For us to do that, now let's create another class, and then we'll do class, and that's going to be article by inheriting from models.model. Okay, so if we head from models.model, we are going to have a topic for this particular article. So that's going to be topic. And now you know that we already have a category. So we need a category for this here. So what we need to do is that this is going to be category. So this category is going to set, it's going to be models.foreign key. Models.foreign key. We're going to use a foreign key. And already we have a category here. This is the category because the name is here. So that's what we're going to use. You can select from the list of category for you to be able to write your story. So that's going to be category. And then on delete, we are going to do models.cascade. Models.cascade. So with this, we will be able to pick from the selected model, the article category name right here, and be able to go on with whatever story we want to write. Now down here, that's been done. We are going to have a topic for this particular, topic for this particular article. And that's going to be models dot char field. Models of char field. We're going to set a maximum length, max_length, and let's say this topic, let's just say 200 is okay, and we cannot make this to be blank, so we have to fill a topic here. It's compulsory. I think that's okay. The topic shouldn't be too long. Or let's use a text field, or let's just say 300 or 400. Let's say 400. That should be okay. Now the next is we need to have a slug. A slug is just a short description of what our story is all about, and set that equals to models.char field, and that should be something about 300 as well. 300. And then the next thing is we don't have author yet. Probably let's put the author here. So the author of this particular article, that should be the person that is currently logged in. So we know how to do that. So let's do models dot that's going to be char field, and then max length is going to be 200. And then down here we are also going to add created at for us to know when this is created. So this is going to be created at, that's going to be models dot date time field. That's what we want to do. We want to use a date time field to be able to add that. So the date created, we say auto now add, and we set that equals to true. So there's a method called auto now add. This auto now add will enable us to get a timestamp of the particular time we are creating this particular story or article. So that's why we said auto now add and set that equals to true. Models or date time field. And the next thing is we also want to ensure that we also get a time that this is actually updated. And now this is going to be models or datetime field. The same thing here, auto now, but the difference now is that this does not have add. Auto now means anytime we modify is going to take a timestamp of that particular date or time that is actually updated. Okay, so I think all these are okay. And then one more thing, actually, we have not gotten the body of that particular the story we want to write. So what I will do is that I will write a story. So that's going to be another columns, and that story is going to be models dot. This is going to be text field, and then text field can take much more than a char field. So it can take as much as possible. Just char field, just see it as your input field that does not take much as compared to your text field that can take a larger body of text. So I think these are what we will need to capture. The category, which is going to be a foreign key, the topic, you create that topic, and then we have a slug, which is a short description of the story we are creating, the author, and which is this is going to be the person actually creating this post or the story. The created, probably we just created at. So this is going to take a timestamp of the time we are creating this, and updated at. So that's going to be the time that we are updating this. So it's going to take a timestamp of that too. And then let's create a string representation of that. So dev double underscore then str double underscore self, and then we are going to pass a string, and that's going to be article.topic article.author. Probably let's also add let's just say by, to show that this article is created by this person, and then at the time this is created. So we are going to return article dot that's going to be created at. Okay, I think this should be okay right here. Now these are the three models that we have created. So the first model we created, let me close this. The first model we created is a profile model, which means that when we log in or we create an account, this should be automatically created for us, which we can later go back and fill up. The next thing we created is the category of our story. So we created the name of this particular category, or let me call it category name, cat name. So let's call it category name so that it will be clearer. And then creator of this category. So we set category name because the models of char field. And then the creator is going to be models of char field. And the max length is 200. Actually, we want to get the username of the person that's actually doing this. We can do that discreetly. So you will see how we're going to do that without even the user knowing about that. Then the next thing is we are creating our article model. This is the table. This is the table that's going to capture everything we are going to insert into our table for this particular story or article. So the article has a category. For you to be able to create, you should be able to choose your category from the available category here. That means you have to create a category before you go on to add your story, and then it must have a topic. Let's say, for example, now you are creating a story or article on science. There should be a topic for that particular story, and then a slug here, which is just going to be a short description of that particular story that we are creating, which should be a max length of 400. And then we also have the author that is creating this article. We are still going to take this discreetly as well. And then we also have created art and updated art. And then we have the story, which is going to be the field of this. Probably let's move this up. It doesn't matter, but I just want to move this up after the topic right here. Okay, so you can place it anywhere, so it doesn't matter. And then that's all that we have here. And once that is done, we can now make migrations so that we can see this in our database. Now, for us to do that, we need to go to the admin section first and do something. So let's go to the admin. Yeah, this is the admin here now. So in this admin, we need to import all of that we have created. We are going to show all of this, but before then, let's make the migration, then we'll come back here. But before we make the migration, let's go to our browser and see exactly what we have. So I'll go back to the browser. So if I go to users, we have those users we have created the other time. So these are the users that we have. We have 8 users, and we have groups. We don't have anything on that group. And these are the 2 tables that we have here. So I want to refresh. Now you can see that they are just the 2 that we have. So good. Now that we already have this, I think we can now proceed by making migrations. We want to make migrations. Let me collapse this. Good. And I want to create another terminal here. I want to, so that I don't need to turn off my server. So I'll click on this plus icon to create a new terminal. Plus here. So let's wait for that. Okay, good. So that is done. I'm going to do Django-py manage.py make migrations all together in one word. So py manage.py make migration. You can see it's one word. This make migration is one word. All right. So that being said, what we do next is to hit enter and wait for that migration to happen. Now look at the 3 models we try to create. Create model, category, article, and profile. This has been prepared. So there's a preparation stage, which is what we have here. Even if you go to our admin page, we can't see these 3 things. So let's go. The next thing we need to do is also to run the last command for this to be able to insert into our database. Because what this did was first to create the SQL code. So there's an SQL code behind all this, create model. So the SQL code, with time, I'm going to show you how this looks like. So now that we have actually done that, the next thing is to migrate. Migrate is the next command. The first command to prepare these tables is what? Python manage.py make migrations. And the last command for this to be inserted in our database table, database is what? Make, sorry, I think there's an error here. I need to remove this one. So it's going to be migrate. So migrate. With this migrate, we can now hit enter and that will migrate. So now you can see that we have applied all those migrations. Now our tables are ready for use. Now, let me show you something briefly. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so let's go up here. I need to bring this down. I need to show something here now. So now there is a migration folder here. And now you can see the migration folder and we have 0001 initial. If I click it, you can see the migrations we have done are going to be here. So here we have class migration, migrations.migration. So from migrations.migration, we have the category. That's the table we created here. So from that table we created, you can see the ID. So automatically it's going to add the ID section for us. So that comes with the Django framework. So every table must have, every row must have what we call an ID, which is auto implemented and auto created primary key. Okay, then you can see the 2 fields that we actually created, category name and creator. And then this is the article category or article table. And you can see all that we have done here. And this is the migration for the profile. So these are the profiles, these are the migrations that we have here. So just need to show you. And I think that's all. So for now, then we have actually run those migrations. We can make use of this. Now, to be able to see this in our database, what we need to do is that we need to go back to, let's close this initial. Now, what we need to do for us to be able to see this is to go to our admin section. This is our admin page, of which is blank, except for the fact that we have imported the admin itself. So what we need to do now is we are going to register this. So we are going to do from dot models. We are going to import those tables that we have created. So we are going to import profile, and from, we can import it on one line. So we're going to import profile. We are going to import article. We are also going to import, what's the last one we created? We created 3. So we are going to also import category. So this is done. Then we can now come to register here. So we can do admin, just like what we have. Okay, I think I saw, okay, admin dot site dot register. This is to ensure that we see this when we log in into our database table. Okay, but before then, let's quickly show you so that you will understand why I'm doing this, what I'm doing. So I believe you can see this page here. Let me be sure that's what you're seeing. Okay, good. So you can see this DBMS table. You can see now we only have the groups and the users. So we don't have those 3 tables that we have created. So for us to be able to see those, we need to register them. So admin.site.register. The first, we have profile. The other does not really matter. So we have profile, comma, we have article, comma, and then we also have category. So these are the 3 tables that we have created. So let's go back to see if we can see those things in our database table. Okay, it's like the server went down. Let me rerun the server because it's like it went down. Or probably there's an error, but let's see. The server went down. I think there's an error somewhere. Maybe the way I added all this. Where is that happening? The imports. Okay, let me try to run the server again here. Run server. Okay, admin.site. Okay, the way I imported them. So let me import them one by one. Okay, so I was trying to import all this. Sorry, not here. I was trying to import all of this together, but it's actually giving me some error. Or I don't know if I made an error. Okay, it says admin.site. I think there is, okay, takes from 2 to 3 positional argument, but 4 were given. Let's just do it one by one. Let me see if this is going to help out instead of adding everything on the same line. Okay, you can see that that's working. So all right, I wanted to make everything on one line. Article, and the last one is going to be category. So let's save this and see if everything will be okay. The model profile is already registered. Yes. So let me quit the server and rerun the server because I don't know, it's hanging. So let me quit. Let's clear the screen and let's rerun this here. Okay, so the server is running. Let's go back to check what we have done. So now that I did that, you can see that we have the articles, we have the categories, we have the profile. Don't mind this. There's usually an addition of S to whatever table that is being created. So we created article, but there's an additional S. We created category, there's an additional S, and profile as well. So if you click article, so we don't have anything here, but go to add. Now you can see that automatically we have this field, category, topic, and story. Let's go to category. So we have the name, we have the creator. Let's go to profile. Then we also have user, and you can see based on the way we did it, that is going to be a foreign key. You can see all the names you have here. We can select them and create this particular profile. The next thing to do is how to begin to insert data into these tables using the front end.